Hey listeners, this is Ben, the host of the Rogue Valley Roleplayers podcast. I hope you all have been enjoying the show thus far. Before I open the episode, I wanted to provide a disclaimer that we do start off with a fairly intense and dark scene. I don't want to give too much away, but we are briefly exploring a character's background, and there are a lot of elements of domestic abuse which may be too disturbing for some people. In no way do we intend to glorify or downplay these sorts of vile acts. We use it in this scene to show a glimpse of the trauma the character has been through. If this is something you don't want to hear, I suggest skipping to the 10-minute mark. With that out of the way, I do hope you enjoy the show, and I will let you get back to the Valley of Famine. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the fifth episode of Valley of Famine, a Deadlands actual play. We are the Rogue Valley Roleplayers. My name is Ben. I'm here with Rosemary, Austin, Nick S., Ed. We have a special guest star, Trisha.
Yay!
Who infrequently gets to join us, so we're excited to have her here.
I think this is like the second time I've gotten into game with you.
I know so, yeah.
We're obligated to kill your character tonight, so.
But I might play in December and January.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Obligated to maim your character then.
I'm okay with that. Scars are sexy, so.
Let me tell you.
Stars being stars.
Yeah. Once again, I'm Ben. I am the Marshal, or Game Master, for those of you who are somehow still uninitiated to Deadlands. And I am running this shindig.
I'm Rosemary. I am playing Deputy Rachel Jane Kennedy.
I'm Austin playing Macario, the incredibly serious clown.
It's like very dramatic.
You could have just changed that intro slightly every single time, weren't you?
I like that.
Sure.
And special guest appearance with Chen Mei, a huckster.
I'm Ed. I'm playing Railin Daisy, the mad scientist.
I am Nick S., playing Haru Matsuhara, the samurai.
It's been a little while since our last adventure, so you guys dealt with Lazarus Black and rescued Sheng Jin mid-August. It's now mid-October. Sheng Jin's visit was only supposed to last like a couple weeks, just to investigate, not investigate, but inspect the operations going on for Iron Dragon. He has stayed since then. It's been a while.
I feel like partly because of that note I gave him.
Most likely, yeah.
Which I couldn't read because I don't read Chinese.
The harvest is in full swing. People are, reaping the fields, all that stuff, harvesting, getting food into the silos and the storehouses and what have you. There's been a little bit of controversy because a lot of ranch hands and farm hands have gone AWOL lately. No one's gotten to the point of declaring foul play. I mean, hired help comes and goes. People get fed up with the job and they leave, or maybe they've made enough money and they decide, well, it's time to move on to the next town. Or maybe they get a better business offer proposition from another ranch or another farm. And so there's been a lot of, as far as law enforcement goes, deputy, you've had to go out and smooth feathers over, as it were. Get people to chill out and try and avoid any ranch wars and stuff like that. That's kind of, it's not that extreme. It's just talking to people
in general to do during the harvest season and stuff.
Yeah.
Stop stealing my cattle. We'll stop stealing my corn.
Yeah, exactly.
Settle down now.
And the weather is starting to turn. You're getting into more of the rainy season. It's gotten cold. Leaves on those trees that are deciduous, fully turn gold, red, and brown. And yeah, it is mid-October. Rachel, You're at home, fixing yourself some food in the kitchen when the door bangs open and then slams, shaking the house violently. The floorboards groan beneath Paul's staggering, heavy footsteps. The stench of the whiskey on his breath, cheap and foul, permeates the house as he stomps into the living room. Rachel! Rachel! Where the fuck are you, woman? He slurs drunkenly. You can hear him crash around the front room, and for a moment you pray, he'll collapse and sleep it off out there. But that hope dies fast as he staggers into the kitchen, bleary with intoxication. His clothes are dirty, stained with booze and mud. His eyes gleam with a twisted combination of lust and murderous intent as he lurches further into the kitchen, his left hand clenched in a fist while his right rests on the hilt of the big knife hanging from his belt. You fucking get over here now, he snarls. You feel anger roil through your veins, and the bitter taste of bile fills your mouth as you glare at your husband in disgust. Get out, you spit, gesturing towards the door. Paul cusses and steps forward, and in response you reach for rage and retribution. Your anger goes cold as the frigid tendrils of fear weave their way through your chest and into your heart. Your holsters are empty. Paul smiles darkly, his leering grin stretching impossibly from ear to ear. Nothing's gonna save you now, my love. Panicked, heart pounding, you step back and turn towards the other door, but your husband is faster. He lunges forward and knocks you down with a savage backhand. Your head rings and your vision swims, but you can still hear the rasp of steel against leather as Paul draws that big knife. You try to crawl away, but he grabs you by the ankle and drags you back into the kitchen. With a grip of iron around your throat, he hauls you to your feet. He laughs and leans in close, his hot, rancid breath in your face. But in the instant before he can force himself on you, you viciously jab your knee hard into his groin. Paul's eyes go wide and he drops you with a curse. You fucking bitch. He swings with that big knife as you try to rise, and pain, red hot, lances across your face and burning blood splatters to the floor. Half blind with agony, you scramble away into the next room and slam the door closed. Breathing heavily, you realize you're trapped and cornered in the bedroom. The door shakes as Paul slams his fist against it. Rachel, you open this goddamn door right now, he bellows. Your gaze goes to the shotgun over the headboard of the bed. You know that your husband will be hot on your heels once you leave the door, but it's your only chance. You throw yourself forward, dashing for the weapon. You hear the door crash open as your hands curl around the cold metal of the gun. Where do you think you're going, Rachel? You spin around and level the shotgun at the thing that was your husband. Pale as a corpse, gaunt skin stretched tight across bones, his face split by an oversized grin, his eyes empty sockets stained with blood and blazing with an evil red fire. Paul stands in the doorway with your revolvers, rage and retribution clenched in each fist. Both guns drip with innocent blood, the runes glowing with a sickly green light. You pull the triggers of the shotgun, giving him both barrels, but the hammers click on empty shells. Paul laughs and strides into the bedroom. It'll all be over soon, Rachel. And then you both freeze as you hear the thin wail of a baby, and that is when you see the cradle in the corner of the room. It rocks gently, back and forth, a tiny hand waving just visible above it. Paul looks to the cradle in shock, and then cocks the hammers on both pistols with a horrid smile. Well, isn't this a surprise? When were you gonna tell me, love? He swings those guns out, retribution towards you, rage towards the baby. Don't worry. We'll all be one happy little family in hell. He fires rage, and you see the cradle explode in a fountain of blood, the roar of the gun drowning out your screams. And then retribution fires, and you are thrown back with a bloody spray as the bullet catches you in the belly. All you can hear is Paul's laughter as you hunch over in pain, trying to hold your guts in. I'm coming for you, Rachel. Best run while you still can. Paul yells as darkness consumes you.
And then you wake up,
Oh,
scout,
fuck.
licking your face, the nightmare fading away from memory, even though the agony remains. It's been months now since that encounter with the catamount, and those wounds still haven't totally healed, and you're still feeling that pain.
taking enemy now as a hindrance. She's gonna like probably vomit after a dream like that. So she's gonna like bolt out of bed in a panic, like convinced that Paul's like nearby, and she's gonna like throw on some clothes and get on Oakley and just ride like away from her house, and like at random.
Okay. Scout follows on your heels and then behind your horse, never straying far.
For like an hour, and then kind of like gradually start to calm down. It's like the wind in her face is like.
It's still pretty dark out. You can kind of see the glow of the sunrise getting ready to crest the mountains to the east.
So she'll like, assuming like she's kept her bearings, or am like,
Yeah.
like at least familiar enough with the surrounding area that she can find a way. She'll like turn the horse around basically, but she doesn't want to go home after that. She wants to be, she needs to like be busy, so she's gonna like head to the sheriff's office.
Okay. You ride to the sheriff's office. It's a little cold. It's morning. It's mid-October. And you see the lights are on in the sheriff's office.
Okay. So she'll like ride up, tether Oakley to the post, and
Give me a notice roll, minus 2.
2 is 5.
Alright. You're not able to make out the words, but you hear what kind of sounds like a one-sided conversation coming from inside.
Oh. I'm gonna like kind of pound on the door a little bit, just like the warning, like, hey, I'm coming in, and then I'm gonna open the door and walk in. I'm gonna see Ross. I'm assuming it's Ross.
It's Ross. He's standing there. Kind of looks up at you. He's already got a cigar lit, and he's got a shot of whiskey halfway to his lips.
Okay, I'm just gonna be like,
It's
Ross, these late nights aren't good for you. Talking to yourself now.
Well, when a man's alone, sometimes he's got to talk out loud and get the thoughts through. Didn't know anyone was here. What are you doing up so early, Deputy?
Then jumps around some paperwork, and she's just gonna like grab a pile at random off of his desk and just like go over to like her desk. And I say that in quotations because it's like she never does paperwork.
Yeah, that's
ever.
kind of like a thing.
There's like a big layer of desks on her desk.
Yeah.
You know, like imagine like,
Where's my pencil?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's like gonna sit
Yeah,
down,
sure,
like
yeah,
actually start to do paperwork, like maybe for the first time since she's become a deputy sort of thing.
After a minute or two, Ross comes by your desk and sets a mug of coffee in front of you, and then takes the budget away.
And like her hands like probably like shaking a little bit as she grips the pencil, but like she doesn't, like she's not saying anything. She's just focusing on work.
He looks down at you, sees your hand shaking. He takes his shot of whiskey, reaches over to your coffee, and just pours it in.
Nice.
And then he goes and sits down at his desk. And he doesn't say anything, but the invitation has been extended. Like if you want to talk to him.
Okay. She's gonna like eye him, see if he's looking, and then she's gonna like take a sip of the coffee. I feel like she probably isn't gonna talk to him at this point.
Okay.
She's just gonna like paperwork, like just focus on paperwork.
Alright. Sun comes up soon enough, maybe in an hour or so. And the town starts to come to life. What are you doing, Haru?
After doing some morning prayer and practice, I'd be going through the Iron Dragon's worker camps, making sure they're all busy at work, doing what they're supposed to be doing. Maybe talking with some of the people that I've grown familiar with, and seeing if they need anything, trying to be an intermediary as well. You don't have enough water, or you're having some issue with so-and-so.
You're
Trying to be compassionate.
Yeah. You're doing that when the boy comes running up. This is a message for you, sir.
Written or spoken?
Mr. Jin is requesting your presence over at the inn.
I will be right over. Most quickly. I hop on Kuhn, who's nearby, and ride over to the inn.
All right. You walk in over to the restaurant portion of it, of the Jacksonville Inn. You see Sheng Jin sitting at a table having some breakfast, and there's someone with him.
Do I recognize this someone?
Nope.
I cautiously walk over, appraising this individual, sizing them up, seeing if they've got weapons clearly hanging, what kind of attire they're wearing. I want to know more about this person.
All right. Trisha, why don't you describe your character?
So my character is Chinese, who is sitting at a table playing mahjong, dressed in standard Western wear, but definitely stands out in the crowd of mostly white settlers.
I walk over to the table. Mr. Sheng Jin, guest, most appreciative of your call. Shall I describe Haru to?
Sure, yeah.
Been a few graying, slightly graying hair Japanese man, thin pencil mustache and small goatee. He's clearly got two swords at his belt and a pistol on his other side, wearing a long duster, speaking fairly good English, but still has issues with certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Idioms, connotations. He's
you recognize an idiom when you hear it, but sometimes you have to be like, okay,
yeah.
I know that means something. What does it mean?
Have to think about it for a second.
Doesn't mean exactly what the words.
He gives both of you kind of a disapproving leer, as he, being Japanese descent, does not appreciate Chinese descent, even though he has to work with them.
Works for them.
Works for them.
Yeah. Maybe in his pride, he thinks with them.
Yes, it's a little bit of pride going on. You called me Mr. Sheng Jin.
I did, yes. He takes a sip of his coffee. Sit down.
Takes a seat in the chair. And because I know how chairs in the West were, he would have pulled the swords out from his belt and rested them on his lap because they would not have been. And he would have rested them with the hilts like this and the blades going off this way because that would be a sign of non-violence.
Okay. Going to be frank with you, Haru. I don't like you. I don't like your kind. Your peasants are easy to deal with because they've been shat on and put into their place all their lives. When they come over here, they keep that same attitude. But your caste, you don't think you're better than the rest of us. But your creed and your tenets that you follow are all that makes you trustworthy. And I need someone I can trust.
You are, of course, entitled to think of me as you will, Sheng Jin, but know this, I will do my job with appropriate diligence.
And that you do, which is why we are having this conversation. See, someone made an attempt on my life.
I am aware.
What you're probably not aware of is that someone works for the Iron Dragon Railin.
I am not surprised.
Perhaps not.
Petty inscrutiny heavens.
Something like that. I want you to investigate. All the evidence I've found leads to, or points to our regional representative in Portland. It seems a mite too convenient, given how convincing it all is. Before I have a useful tool executed, I want to make sure it's him and not others, if you catch my meaning.
I believe I understand.
This here is Chen Mei. She is a troubleshooter for the Iron Dragon Railroad, as we call her in when things need to be done that are not necessarily above board.
I think I understand.
You're going to work with her in investigating and making sure that the Portland rep, who I have not yet named because that was a short-sighted measure on my part, is indeed responsible for the attempt on my life.
I will make a great effort in finding who attempted to kill him.
In exchange, once you find that evidence, or lack thereof, conclusive lack thereof, I know where the objects you seek are, and I will tell you.
Very well. Miss Chen Mei,
Yes.
I suggest we get to work most immediately. I will find a close friend of mine, see if she can offer any assistance. She works at the sheriff's office. If you wish to come along, I am leaving now.
I'll join you in about 2 minutes when I finish my game.
Very well.
I will leave you to it. I have a train to catch. And Sheng Jin stands up and motions to a bodyguard that was sitting nearby. You probably noticed him. He wasn't trying to hide or anything. I just
no mind.
didn't even think of that detail until just now.
It's all right. I wouldn't have paid him any money anyway.
There you go. Follows him out.
Yeah, that one you said you were going to take 2 minutes. Haru would have turned on his heel, well, stood up, put his swords back into his belt, and walked out the door and waited on the front walk thing, veranda, and had smoked his pipe until you came out.
That's acceptable. We don't rush Mojo.
Where are you at, Macario?
So Macario has been very busy and very frustrated. So with the money that he earned from this latest bounty and what Rachel gave him, he bought a small farmhouse on the outskirts of Medford. And he's been trying to stock it with food. And every time he buys food, no matter where he puts it, it rots a few days later. He's tried burying it. He's tried buying like secret pemmican recipes sold to him from the natives, and they all just rot away. And he's just dug up some pemmican that he put in like a jar and buried out in the front yard, just trying anything different to get the stuff to stay good. And when he opens up the jar, he sees maggots in it. And he kind of sighs and wipes sweat off his brow, looks up. The devil walks in this land. I must tell someone. And he kind of looks towards town and starts thinking about how he can get his friends together to tell them what he needs to tell them.
Okay. It's a little bit of a ride to Jacksonville, since you're on the outskirts of Bedford.
Yeah.
Daisy, where are you at?
Well, it's been a couple months, and there's this boy I've met. What's his name again?
Jonathan Graves?
Jonathan Graves.
Oh, yeah. I know.
So, yeah,
Just gonna go full of rattles of boys.
Yeah, she's probably taken the last couple months and packed up her home in Ashland and
more towards Medford,
Okay.
near the train station, just because
He's
that's her
back.
thing. Trains and
Yeah.
there's this there's a boy who's interested in her, even though she talks about Lumerian and chews tobacco, and she hasn't had no one knocking on her door since the old Freddie before she settled down here. Freddie is not that Freddie, not evil Freddie. Frederick Spencer Oliver, the writer of A Dweller on Two Planets,
Okay.
who introduced her to about Lumerians.
Alrighty.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, so-
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, she was like, all right, he's a cute guy, and so spending some time with him, getting in trouble, doing
Totally, yeah.
But yeah, she's no longer in Ashland. She's moved up to Medford around the train station
All right.
nearby.
You've got all that money, so you probably don't have to work too much neither.
Yeah, I probably still do odds and ends.
Mhm.
Mad scientist.
Maybe pull some
I
occasional
don't have to work.
mechanic job for
Yeah.
Iron Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next scene, everyone's
I was having an idea for something for Rachel to do.
okay.
She's gonna. Is there a telegraph office?
Absolutely.
She wants to send a couple telegrams.
Okay. Who to?
She wants to send one back to like her old town
Mhm.
to see if Paul is dead. She wants to confirm his death, basically.
Okay.
And then she also wants to send a couple telegrams about Daisy's father, like inquiries maybe to see if he's been spotted, like
Mhm.
maybe down in California or like, up in Portland. I don't know if it's Portland established yet.
Yeah.
probably.
Oh yeah.
So like she's just kind of sending out some inquiries to see if like there's any word. Like I would imagine when he was initially kidnapped, she would have sent out like word
Yeah.
to other lawmen along the coast. So she's just checking in with them to see if there's like any fresh leads. So she's gonna send this out.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much that's gonna cost her, but I think she has the money to cover it.
I think I remember seeing telegraph was like something like 5 cents or something a word.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I moved closer to the train station, so I can hear word and just be closer to where I can find out information too.
Where people are moving in and out. And,
Yeah.
I believe Haru was
Standing on the veranda waiting for
standing on the
Chen
veranda
Mei.
waiting for Chen Mei. Macario was heading into town to look for his friends. And Daisy, what exactly were you doing? I know you relocated to Mount Medford.
Probably still sleeping since it's first thing in the morning,
Okay.
because I'm a light sleeper, a heavy sleeper.
That's right. Deputy. You're back at the office. Sheriff Abraham Ross is there, filling out more paperwork. And for everyone else and for the listeners, just like Abraham Ross, he's not some like useless, incompetent sort of guy. He's just the sheriff. The position of sheriff is partly political, so he deals with a lot of that shit. He's kind of like he's the heavy guns, and you, Rachel, you've seen him in action before.
Yeah.
You know that he's not incompetent. He's ridiculously good at what he does.
And he's mean with a tourniquet.
He is mean with a tourniquet.
Yeah.
So he usually sends you out on patrol and you go deal with stuff because usually there are survivors.
This is me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's someone to arrest, not to bury. When Abraham Ross gets called out, someone's getting put in the ground. That's usually how it's not happened very often. Maybe once or twice since you've worked as a deputy.
Oh, yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of trouble that goes on in Jacksonville or the county because folk know that outlaws know that if they push their luck too much,
If they cross Ross, if you will.
yeah, if they cross Ross, hell's a coming.
Yeah, I would imagine I'd go back to the office and then would she patrol Jacksonville? Like,
The office exists in this version of Medford
It's
already?
like it's the jail / office, right? Like
Yeah.
where
It's
we-
temporary holding. It's not
Yeah.
like there's a more permanent jail somewhere or prison.
I'm sure there's a barbecue somewhere, just not
Based
called
on
the office.
my understanding of like just Wild West judiciary system, you wouldn't really do on patrol. You might walk around, say
Oh.
hello to the townspeople.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
something happens, you might try to
Oh.
stop it, kind of thing.
Yeah, she'll kind of stroll back and not stroll, but like walk back from the telegraph office, like nod to people she knows.
Okay. You're walking by one of the saloons when you hear some arguing, some fighting going on inside. Raised voices.
I'm definitely gonna go inside.
So is there actually a judiciary system set up in the valley at this point?
Yeah, there's a judge.
Okay. There's not just like a traveling judge that comes through town every once in a while?
No, there's a local judge. There's a courthouse.
Okay.
I haven't come up with a name. I had a name, but I didn't write it down, so naturally I forgot.
Judge Marsters.
Judge Marsters.
That was just the name that came to my mind.
Okay. No, it's not going to be Marsters. I'll come up with it. I know exactly who it is. The judge, the local judge, he was born a slave in the Confederacy and won his freedom during the Civil War when the Confederacy was the first to actually, ironically, outlaw slavery. Because the war dragged on for so long, and they asked the British for help, and the British were like, "Sure, but you need to do away with this institution that we find distasteful."
Mhm.
And the Confederacy said, "Yes."
Shortly after they released all their slaves, because they had a problem with it for a very long time. Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then the Union followed suit shortly after to try and keep the moral high ground.
Mhm.
But by that point in time, the war was no longer about state rights to secede or slavery or stuff like that. It was just all about land grabbing.
Mhm.
But it's pretty much ended by now, and it's mainly
It's a
two.
ceasefire right now. There's still the Confederacy has maintained its independence, and the Union is trying to recover from that. There's no signed document declaring peace, but both sides have.
They're kind of just, hey.
Yeah, both sides say, okay, you stay on your side of the Mason-Dixon, we'll stay on our side, and we won't shoot at each other much.
Except for criminals like the one we just took in last session.
Yeah.
Well, deaded in.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
The corpse we brought in.
Yes.
We didn't even bring in the corpse. I remember right. We brought in.
And we got $1,000.
So, deputy, you walk into one of the saloons, and you see two men having it out. They're in each other's faces. They're red in the face, yelling and hollering about who is buying off the hired help.
Oh boy. So Rachel's gonna like get right up in between them and put her hand, like one hand out on each of their chests, and just be like, "Gentlemen, it's too early for this."
It's never too early for men to
I'm trying to
fight.
like de-escalate it. I don't have intimidation.
You don't have intimidation.
I know.
You're an officer of the law.
I have a
You do
really
not
badass
have-
scar, though.
Yeah. Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh boy, that's a D4.
6 intimidation.
But you're gonna nail it.
Here's the thing. I thought of that exact same thing. I was like, I was former sword police in Japan, and now I'm the Iron Dragon's chief of police. I need to have intimidation.
Oh, yeah.
6 has been treating you well.
In fact,
10.
I'm better at intimidation than I am persuasion.
But a 1 on
It's
my
-2
persuasion.
actually because of your ugly
charisma.
ignorance.
So
Yeah.
8.
8. It's still a raid, so you managed to talk him down,
Nice.
and how do you talk him? So, or just go with the whole gentleman
Yeah.
is entirely too early
Yeah,
for this.
I'm just
Go
like
sit
knock
the
it
fuck
off.
down.
Sit the fuck down, or you can sit down in a jail cell.
All right, they grumble, mutter, but they go sit on opposite sides of the saloon.
And I'm assuming like these are locals, right? They're ranchers.
Yeah.
So I would know both of them.
Probably. I don't have names for them, but yeah.
I want to turn to one and be like, Jones, what would your wife say if she knew you were brawling here in the saloon this early in the morning?
Should say it was justified since we ain't gonna be able to get the harvest in on time because someone's been stealing our hired help.
That's great, Jones. I'm sure drinking this lemon powder bath's gonna solve those problems. Yeah.
You resolve that situation. You step outside. You're just about to step into the street when you feel that pain lance through your sides again, and you just about just double over right there in the street when you feel a hand on your elbow and your shoulder. Deputy, you all right?
I'm fine, Grace.
You don't look fine, Deputy. Would you please come have a drink with me over at the claim?
What's this about?
I will tell you there.
Grace, this has been a rough morning, okay? I don't got time for this.
I understand, Deputy, but I think you want to hear what I have to say. And I insist, please.
She's gonna like heave this sigh, like why me? Like, all right, but better not be wasting my time.
I assure you, Deputy, I do not think it will be a waste of your time. You walk over to the inn. Graves kind of like he's got that like ready to catch you kind of look. He's not like walking with his hand on your back.
Because you would punch him in the face if he did that.
Yeah.
Daisy might punch him in the face if he did that too.
Yeah.
But
Poor
you
guy.
get to the point. You sit down, and Graves orders. It's early, so he actually orders coffee.
Okay, Rachel will order some coffee and probably breakfast too.
Deputy, you are not well. I can see it. Ross can see it. Everyone can see it. You're hurt.
Fine.
You are not fine. Deputy, you almost face planted in the mud just now.
Just that catamount. We'll be fine in a few weeks. They'll heal right up.
Deputy, it has been 2 months or near about. Modern medicine ain't gonna help you.
You doctor or something, Grace?
I never went to school, Deputy. You know that. But I have a wandering, and I met a man last year who I think might be able to help you if you're willing to try some unorthodox methods. See, you remember that bad snowstorm last year?
Surely do.
Well, I was out rambling at Rogan when that storm blew up. Caught me all unawares. I thought I was going to die out there. Couldn't find my way. Horse was getting cold when all of a sudden this Native American fella come walking out of nowhere. Leads me to safety in the shelter. Shares his fire with me and some food. I would have frozen to death if not for him. Now, this Native American fella, his name is Skell. He's got some of them that tribal magic folks talk about.
At this point, she's gonna kind of like slam her hands onto the table and like push her chair back and stand up and be like, I don't know what kind of story you're trying to sell me, Grace, but I ain't buying it.
Deputy, the man can help you. He can heal you. Why don't you come up with me and go give him a talk? Maybe you'll believe him over me.
I'm just supposed to believe that out of the goodness of your heart, you've just taken a sudden concern in my health.
Well, Deputy, there's no thrill if you're too invalid. And I promise you, Deputy, this ain't like Loving Miss Daisy's Lemuri and stuff. This
Oh
is
God,
some
not
real
that
stuff.
again.
This is real. This man is skill. Come talk to me. What do you have to lose, Deputy?
Graves, I ain't sure what game you're playing here.
You saved my life, Deputy, whether you like it or not. I owe you.
She'll like mull it over. I'll think about it.
Well, you know where to find me.
I do.
Where's the stage? Well, you come see me. I'm gonna get them wounds healed.
Maybe if she like goes to like leave, like another spasm will like rip across her. Or like kind of like clutch the chair for a second, and then she'll say, I'm not do that.
All right.
And she'll say like, thanks for the coffee.
By the time you get to back to the sheriff's office, I think you'll find Haru and Chen Mei waiting there, as well as Macario has arrived at that point. Would you drop by the sheriff's office at any point in time and bring us your friends?
I don't know if I would actually just be like, oh yeah, the sheriff's office, that's where I go to hang out every day. So
Fair.
Then
That's fair
Graves
enough.
would point her to go to the sheriff's office.
Okay. Yeah, you go. You meet up with Graves. Daisy.
You're
Daisy.
Your friend Rachel. Not doing so well.
she's still not doing good.
No. Heard almost took a fall right in the mud. So I know a man might be able to help her. You can convince her. I think we could get the deputy back up on her feet regularly.
Well, maybe I should go talk to her because I'm worried about her. You know, she's my friend.
Much as adversarial as we are, I am fond of Deputy Kennedy.
She's good people.
That she is. Better than that Sheriff Ross. He's a mean one. You don't like Joe's none.
Oh, he's fun to drink with, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
I hear that man can hold his liquor.
Yep.
It's all he imbibes.
You have no idea.
All right.
Alright.
Everyone's out at the sheriff's
Okay.
office.
Yep.
Sheriff Ross just like, why are there so many people in my office?
Well, if it bothers you, Mr. Ross, I will wait outside.
All right. Thank you very much, Matsuhara-san.
That's one. There's still.
Sheriff, where is Rachel?
She was off to the telegram office last I knew, and
Yeah,
there
like
you are.
4 minutes, right?
Hello, deputy. About time you showed up. All your friends are here. How am I supposed to get any work done? Bunch of people gaggling about in my office.
Ross, you never get any work done anyways. You've been working on that piece of paper for the past week.
Look, figuring out the budget is hard.
Macario turns to you and whispers, "He drew a stick man on the paper."
Look, sometimes you just gotta take a break from crunching the numbers and draw a fucking stick figure. Okay?
Did
Count
he,
my deputies.
did he need the fingers and toes on the stick figure to count the budget?
Probably.
Okay.
That's an intricate drawing. It's finger and toes on a stick figure.
Would Rachel,
A little disturbing to think about. Look,
would she like bow to Haru? Is that?
You might do
Okay.
the hat tip, and he'd nod his head to you.
morning, Deputy
Good
Kennedy.
morning, Haru. Who is your, she's not gonna say friend, because she knows that you don't, make friends. Who's your acquaintance?
This is Chen Mei. She is a, how you say, she works with the Iron Dragon, like I do.
I'm a troubleshooter.
How do I remember?
She shoots trolls.
You shoot trolls?
I think you said troubleshooter, but what I heard was troll shooter.
That's really awesome.
That could be troubleshooting. Also.
Yeah.
Yes. I am
Shooting
a
tribbles is okay, too.
Shooter for the Rebel.
I've got some trouble you could shoot. That'd be super nice. Goes for the name of Jonathan Grace.
No, don't shoot him.
I don't know if that is in a job description.
Oh,
Mr. Graves is a adequate fellow so far.
I'll say.
That's right, Daisy. I forget that he is your gentleman caller.
It's my bag.
Yeah. What brings you here to the...
I missed that. I'll listen to it later.
I think I'm leaving that one in.
I'll leave it in.
It's on my character sheet. I was gonna write bow, but then and I misspelled. The A came first.
It's
for some
okay,
reason, and I was like, no, I'm using bay.
It's funny.
What brings you to the office this morning?
As you remember, a couple of months ago, Sheng Jin was kidnapped by that racist prick.
I do recall. Macario almost got shot up by that Gatling gun.
Well, we have reason to suspect that one of our own from Portland may be involved. I was asked to, along with Chen Mei, to investigate, and you being an officer of the law, I felt it pertinent to ask your assistance. Also, I consider you a good friend. It would mean very much to me if you could help me.
Of course, Haru.
I was not anticipating Miss Daisy and Macario, but if you would be kind enough to assist, I'd be most appreciative.
Of course I will help. But I was hoping tonight to invite you all to my new home for dinner. I've bought pies and I've made things to eat, you know.
Your
Lovely
invitation,
maggot lasagna.
your invitation is most appreciated. I would very much like to see your home, Macario.
It's still mostly empty, but I hung up pretty things, colors, you know. It's good to look at.
One of the things you were definitely able to do with your $1,000 was to replenish your supply of colorful handkerchiefs.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, he stashes all over the house. When he needs a handkerchief, he will find it.
Cigar and handkerchief.
And look, the cigar turns into a handkerchief.
What?
And I think he's found like linen and stuff, and he's kind of hung it up in almost like a patchwork, almost like a circusy sort of feel in his ranch home.
Like tapestry.
Yeah, almost like a tapestry. He's watched a lot of Martha Stewart, like old West Martha Stewart. Okay, I'm fine.
Old West Homes and Garden.
Yep, old West homes and gardens.
I will definitely be attending. I would love to see your new abode. I
That
will
sounds great.
bring a housewarming present. I think it is called.
And I suppose your friend may come too, although...
Friend would be putting it strongly. Too strongly at this point.
I don't wish to be rude, ma'am, but may I keep it to just my friends?
That is acceptable.
Thank you for understanding. And then he kind of goes quiet. But anyway, tonight, I'm sorry for the interruption.
Last time you wanted us to help you, Matsuhara, you offered us $10.
I think I found a sort of thing I could do with this money that
I have not been given a budget for paying anyone, but I will pay you from my own pocket if that is what it takes.
Is there a bounty on this person we're hunting?
Not officially. Part of the reason why I am coming to Deputy Kennedy is if he is breaking the law, there could be.
Do you have a name?
We don't
No.
call it hunting for troubleshooting.
Right.
Nice.
If he is indeed guilty of wrongdoing, I would be willing to pay $100 for evidence proving or disproving his involvement. But it must be conclusive, must be beyond a shadow of doubt.
Well, you can count me in. $100.
Woo! Did you spend all of your bounty money
No.
already?
This sounds very much like, what is the word? Politics. If we do this, will the railroad hate us?
I do not think so. Mr. Sheng Jin is a very powerful man with Iron Dragon. I do not wish to speak on his behalf, for I fear repercussions of my own. But I will leave your names free of any report I make, just to ensure your safety, if that is your desire.
Iron Dragon always takes good care of their deniable assets.
So I will assure you, new acquaintances, that you will be working in the favor of the railroad and also in my favor if you assist me in finding this individual.
My compatriot put it most succinctly. If there is any other matters you must attend to, I will be at the big claim having a drink to deal with some of the issues of my own.
Rachel's gonna turn to Ross and say, well, what do you think?
About
Me
what?
for anything around here?
No, I think we're good.
I was thinking of
That's great timing.
You just break whiskey?
No, I popped it out and I was like, can I have more? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll leave you to the
There's-
budget then, Ross.
Ross probably go to a second bottle.
God damn budget. You just can't make the frickin' ammo allowance balance itself.
And he draws a hat on the stick figure.
Balancing.
he's got it balanced with like a pencil, the ledger. And he's just like, yeah, nope, See, I can't make it balance.
Is he drawing pictures of the bullets and then circling them into groupings of 10?
Yes.
No matter what I do, I can't get 5 and 5 to equal 12.
Deputy, how much do you spend on bullets?
I just bought 50 bullets and it cost me.
Wait. You're buying your bullets?
Yeah?
God,
Start all
damn it, Deputy. I gotta start all over now. You
telling
buy...
me there's a budget for my bullets?
Not anymore. You're buying your bullets.
Great to hear, Ross.
Where...
I am gonna go return these immediately.
But where's the money for the ammo allowance been going?
Make sure you
To
submit
your whiskey, Ross.
submit your requisition form for
Yeah.
reimbursement.
Exactly.
Deputy, I buy my whiskey with my own money. I do not use state or county funds.
Wait, is this like an actual plot hook here? Like, is somebody stealing from the sheriffs?
Maybe.
This is
That's a
bad.
good question.
Or Deputy Ross could just be really, really bad at accounting.
If someone's stealing from the sheriff, that could be a grave situation.
Ah!
Is Oregon a state?
1859.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
1859, Oregon became a state. 1859, the Shinsengumi was disbanded.
Coincidence? Probably.
Probably. Just an interesting coincidence popped in my head. Haru's
Meanwhile-
been here for 15 years.
500 feet under Medford, the corpse of the ancient Japanese.
Explains why they tried to drop firebombs on Oregon during World War II.
Yeah. God damn it.
Balloon bombs.
Oh.
Go ahead.
So you're still at the sheriff's,
Yeah.
right?
We're all still.
Everyone's still here?
No, I think you walked
Haru
out.
has gone to the claim to deal with the fact he has to work with the Chinese.
Cheng Mei or Chen Mei, are you still at the sheriff's office, or did you go?
I don't think I have any reason to stay at the sheriff's office.
Okay, where do you go?
I'm gonna go back to the saloon and
Okay.
end a mahjong game and see if I can get some hot water to make a cup of tea.
Okay, yeah, totally.
Before you go, Rachel's just gonna say to you, like, I look forward to working with you.
You too, Mike.
Just super polite
I wanted
Chinese
to
person.
tell-
Haru's just instantly like, no.
Rachel's got nothing against the Chinese.
No, I know, yeah.
She's gonna let Daisy know, though, like, I want you to know, Daisy, I haven't given up on your father yet. I sent some telegrams out this morning, checking in with my contacts up the coast to see if there's any fresh news. So I'll let you know as soon as I hear back from them what they say.
I've been keeping my ear to the grindstone when out there by the train station.
Ow!
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
I was about to say, well, you
So
don't hear much anyway.
that's why-
How's your woman doing?
Well, you know, it's all right. Since you're a friend, she's gonna confide in you, not Graves. It bothers me some, but nothing I can't handle.
Yeah, are you sure? Because Jonathan said he might know someone that could help you out with that.
Oh, did he say that? Did he?
He
Yeah.
immediately turned her off when he said Graves.
Yeah, I didn't say Graves.
Yeah,
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Which is a generic name. A bunch of people are named Jonathan.
Yeah, he talked to me this morning. Said he met some sort of Indian shaman who might be able to heal this with magic. What do you think of that?
Well, I've heard that there are some of the native folk that can do that. Other than that, I mean, the only place I know where you might be able to get this healing is Thalos.
Delos? Question mark.
Oh my god.
That's where the Lumerians live, in Shasta.
Oh my god.
Like Rachel's like lucky that I don't think she's like heard this particular like. Oh right, the Luminarians. That's right.
Tattooers.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Marians.
Mhm.
Just was a big
Well, maybe we'll try Mr. Graves' suggestion first before we head out to Phalos.
This guy sounds a lot closer.
Yeah.
Everything sounds more reasonable.
You throw that in. Okay.
Yeah. That's why she's gonna follow through with Grace, because she doesn't want Daisy to drag her out to Phalos.
Gotta go all the way down to Shasta.
Well, if you see Jonathan, maybe just let him know that I'm interested in his offer.
All right.
So, you're at the Jacksonville Inn getting into a game of mahjong, getting some tea.
Yes.
You're at the claim getting drunk. Jonathan Graves is there.
He is like bad penny, I swear to God.
And Macario, where'd you go?
I think he is basically kind of sticking with Haru for now, seeing if Haru needs any help.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't really have any plans for him at the moment.
And Daisy?
I think I'll go on my way when we're going to your house for dinner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna talk to Jonathan at all?
Yeah, I'll probably go find him and be like, yeah, I think we convinced Rachel to go see your friend.
All right. It's a bit of a hike, so I better go find the deputy. We best get going. But don't you worry, I'll be back for nightfall. Before nightfall.
All right.
We're like going right now, sort of thing.
Yeah, are you staying? Are you at the sheriff's office?
Yeah, I'll still be there.
All right. He comes knocking on the door timidly. Deputy, sheriff.
Jonathan Graves, come to turn yourself in.
Not exactly. I heard from the lovely Miss Daisy that you reconsidered my offer.
I did. It was either this or go to the city of Phalos.
Yeah.
We had like another side bonding moment. I'm like, God damn it.
By the way, I was going to say that when Haru saw Jonathan in there before Daisy showed up, he would have at least nodded to him and gone to the bar, sat, lit up his pipe.
Okay. Yeah, Jonathan gives you a friendly, morning there, Haru.
Yeah. Morning.
You're struck for an instant by the fact that he actually said your name correctly on the first try.
Haru at this point had figured that he could, and more was just politely, good to see you, Mr. Graves.
Good to see you too, Mr. Haru.
Goes over. And go just passing by the bar.
Yeah, he doesn't try to.
I'm not a very talkative person to an outlaw.
Is it alright if Macario's kind of your sidekick here? I sort of lost track of what we were doing.
Haru was going to the bar because his continued working for the Iron Dragon and again Chinese people frustrates him because the Japanese have never really appreciated China. Right, so he holds a lot of national prejudice. He tries to be polite, he tries to be courteous, but that's the extent. So he'd go into the bar to kind of smoke and drink and think about it before he goes to your house for dinner.
Okay, I guess I'm at home preparing for that dinner then. That sounds
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Well, Debbie,
How long of a hike is this? I thought somewhere to be tonight.
we'll be back for that phone. But look a little bit of a ways. You see them plateaus out there?
Gilmore?
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to miss.
That's where we're going.
We're gonna have to make one stop before that.
Okay.
And we're like cut to like her house and she's getting her winter coat. And then
Yeah, it's cloudy, it's windy, it's not quite stormy yet, but and, give me a vigor check. You ride out. Scout follows you almost the whole way until you get to the base of the table rocks.
8,
Okay.
6.
You start up the trail. Scout kind of plants his butt down at the bottom and doesn't follow.
I'm gonna notice kind of quickly that Scout's not following like he usually does, so I'm gonna rein up Oakley and just kind of twist back on my saddle and call out like, Scout, come on, boy.
Cocks his head at you and whines.
What's the matter? Come on.
He barks. He doesn't move.
Can I roll notice to see if there's anything in the immediate vicinity that might be spooking him out?
Sure.
Well, I'm not noticing anything.
No reason for it.
Oh, that's a bad sign when my dog doesn't want to go somewhere or graze. It's a smart dog.
Well, it is a steep hike.
Scout can handle a steep hike.
Just because he can handle it doesn't mean necessarily he wants to. He's a smart dog after all. He probably knows you're coming back down.
Don't like going anywhere without my dog.
You'll be fine, Deputy. Hell, probably better than fine when you come on down. Get all fixed up. I'm sure my friend Scout will help out.
Alright, she's gonna turn to Scout and say, stay. And she's gonna draw her gun and just kind of rest it across her lap.
Now, Scout's been through a lot. Been through the Road River Wars. Seen his people round up by soldiers and dispersed. Maybe closer to peace.
My dog's not coming up the trail with me, Graves. Trust my dog.
I mean, alright, but you might offend him.
I'll deal with that.
This way. It's quite a hike. That vigor roll was for that portion of it.
Yeah. I've hiked Table Rock before. It's definitely a hike.
Yeah, and it's probably well into midday by the time you reach the top of Upper Crater Lake.
Crater Lake, Table Rock.
Yes, that Table Rock, Upper Table Rock.
Can we get out of there? So see if there's like any kind of like
Sure.
just like danger, like a cat that might be in those trees at the end of the path.
Aside from the poison oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5? No. Doesn't seem like there's anything to be alarmed about. But you finally get to the top of Table Rock, and you see a small structure, like a hut sort of deal. There's a small fire, and there's a man crouched next to it. Looks like he's cooking something. He does not look up.
Or, like, how far away is he? Like, is he like across
80 feet away
Oh,
as you get to the top.
Michelle's gonna kind of like jerk her head at him.
That is him, Deputy.
Alright.
Skell, my friend, how are you doing today? I brought you some supplies, and I brought a friend of mine with me. I hope that is all right. She's law. I know you don't care none too much for our kind of law, but
-2 charisma, so I'm not a charismatic person.
I thought you were minus 2 charisma because of the scar.
Alright, but she's not charismatic, so she's just gonna be like, hello.
He looks up and you see he's an old man, old Takelma, Native American. He wears deerskin clothes. He's probably got like a tomahawk or something hanging off his belt, some traditional weapon.
Tomahawk style you would be wearing is not a bladed kind, but a big blunt rock.
There you go.
Ooh.
Like big
Yeah.
rock.
And come closer.
She'll nudge Oakley forward a few steps. Oh, do we ride our horses up the trail? Or do we, like, actually hike it?
I've never hiked the trail, so I don't know if it's big enough for horses or
It
not.
can be.
That's a little bit treacherous for
It
horses.
is.
Yeah.
It's treacherous.
It's
Most of it
for
is,
horses.
but yeah.
The ending especially would be
Yeah.
hard for
Yeah,
horses.
it's mainly a footpath.
You probably take your horses as far as safe,
Okay.
dismounted.
Then it's mounted. So then I'll just walk. I'll have horses with my gun then, if I'm not on the horse.
Okay.
So I'll walk forward. Cautiously though. I don't really trust Gray.
You said he's older, American.
Yeah, he's old. Hello, Jonathan. Who is this that you've brought to me? Well, this here's Deputy Kennedy. And want me to say? You want to say Deputy?
Jonathan here says that you might be able to help me with an injury.
His eyes flick over to Jonathan, and he stands up. He's pretty tall. He's old. He's gnarled. His skin's weathered, but he's tall. And you can see that he seems like his general disposition is kindly and compassionate, but there's this hint of resentment. Maybe he just, his privacy being violated. You want to help.
I'd be grateful if you could. But
I've
I
seen
certainly don't want to impose.
my people butchered and slaughtered by your kind, and you come up here wearing a star of your country's law, and you ask me for help.
Can't make right what my people did.
Well, maybe. Your United States of America slaughtered and dispersed my people. There are rituals that must be performed so that this land is bountiful. I am all that's left. I am the last shaman of the Takelma. I am old. I have lived a very long time. I do not have the strength to keep up the rituals. A spirit has come to give us, an evil spirit. So long as it resides there, I cannot perform any ritual that will help you. You seem like you have other ways about you. If you go kill this spirit and help heal the land that your people have made vulnerable, I will perform the ritual.
Tell me where the spirit might reside.
Resides in Giwas, where Lao is buried. Your kind call it Crater Lake.
Alright.
Here, take this amulet. It will lure the spirit out.
She'll, nod her head in respect and take the amulet.
We shall see if you come back alive. The spirit, Lao, is no easy thing to contend with. Kill the heart. Deputy. Go.
So she'll, nod respectfully to this.
Scout.
Yeah, scout. And then like look at Jonathan to see like if there's anything else they should do, basically. So then,
And the amulet, it's like a wolf's paw, and it's got some like other little bones dangling from it.
well, Graves sounds like I'm gonna go kill a spirit. I ain't doing that by myself. No way, no how.
Well, I imagine your friends will help you.
Missions now.
That's
Got
not
all kinds of missions now.
Yeah, right.
So can I assume that we like ride back into town without incident?
Yeah, you get back down the bottom of the trail. Scout's still there. He whines, sniffs at you, growls, and then looks your leg.
Okay. What time is it? Like when we get back? It's like
It's-
I haven't missed Macarios yet,
Mhm.
right? Because I like do not
Well,
want to insult.
Do you remember how long it took you to hike Table Rock? Because I remember how long it took me.
Yeah, it's like half a day for me.
It took me 4 hours.
So you're stopping
To get,
where?
just like at the saloon to get a bottle of like nice whiskey that I'm gonna bring
Okay.
as like a gift.
$5 for all of the good stuff.
Macario.
And yeah, we'll move this scene to Macario's house for the dinner, unless anyone has something else.
Oh, really?
I made Macario using some paper from my room at my inn. I made him origami flower to put in his house.
Okay. Nice.
It's a housewarming present to represent longevity and life. It's a chrysanthemum.
Excellent. Longevity.
Yeah, so when you all get there, he's made it as warm as possible. He's got a roaring fire in the fireplace. He's got fresh apple pie, as fresh as he could get that day, sitting on the table.
Cooling in the sun.
He's
Very maggots crawling.
no. I doubt it goes bad that fast. Maybe a fly or two.
Maybe a bear.
It goes bad. Like stored food probably takes a week or two before it goes bad.
Okay. And he's got all the fixings he could get a hold of that day. So he's gone and picked up fresh butter and rolls from town. And yeah, it's a good spread. Everyone, you are here! Yay! Look at my place! And he kind of like motions to the bright, colorful linen that he's strapped everywhere. It's almost a little too gaudy, honestly. Like it's a bit just too
It
colorful.
is as elaborate as the Imperial Palace, Macario.
Bows and hands you the origami flower, laughing to himself, thinking just about how over the top it is.
Well, that is good because you will eat like a king tonight, Haru.
Thank you. Finds a nice, comfortable place to sit and looks around at your decorative taste.
Does he sit on a whoopee cushion?
No, I don't think those have been invented.
Yes, they
yet.
have.
Yeah,
Remember,
we
we
did.
did.
Oh,
Because
that's
it's-
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a great
That was a
game.
different game? That was a different game?
No, it was the first
that
night.
was
It was first or second night. I looked
The
it up.
second
They
night,
were
I think.
invented in like
Rome.
700s of some weird old time where I was just like, whoa.
Just a reminder that I have always been funny.
Yes, yeah, that's what it was. I was like, fart jokes are always funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys want to do like any sort of conversations at the table. Otherwise, we can just kind of skip to the end after. Assuming it's a delicious meal.
Assuming, I don't know, make a roll cookie.
Yeah, let's. Well, I guess roll acquisition streetwise. Is that what that would be?
Yeah, you don't have to roll.
You don't have
Okay. I mean, you're not the GM, but if the GM wants me to roll and I pick up a bunch of
right, I
shit,
just-
and fed all my friends the worst food ever.
No, it's delicious.
Oh,
It's good.
perfect.
Is
That
it
was the
Somebody
goal.
cuts open a roll and a maggot just crawls out.
Do you have like any other animals or pets though besides your horse?
Just my horse right now. Guapito.
This one.
Yeah. And Guapito definitely gets like a a fresh bowl of water with like some candy in it. Because why not? It's got some molasses in it. You just like here, Guapito, slurp it up. Yeah, so the dinner's basically over. Everybody's wrapping up, wiping themselves off with napkins and whatnot. And Macario stands up and kind of taps a glass. I thank you, everyone, for coming to my new home. and I hope it was good.
It was most delicious, Macario. I most appreciate your hospitality.
I called you here for dinner, yes, but I am sorry to say, not just dinner. I have things to talk about.
Like the poison I put in your food.
No.
And if you want the antidote, you will help me find out what's causing my food to go bad.
Well, 48 hours to live.
Did I poison your pot? Because you would think that I poisoned mine to trick you?
Because I did.
You see this this little table over here? I have a cloth over. He pulls the cloth off, and there you see a series of jars that he's stacked up, each of which has like a different food stuff in it that's supposed to last a very long time, and they're all just covered with maggots.
That is a wonderful thing to show after we've had so large.
Yeah.
Oh,
that wasn't in the food.
I am so sorry. I
Rachel's
did
like,
not
"Is
even
this
think
what
about
you
it.
eat? Is this the seasoning?
No, this is not dessert. Please do
Extra
not
protein.
worry. So this, and he points to the first one. This is called bouillon cubes. Bouillon cubes. This is, they take beef juice, and they, he goes over like as though you're all idiots that have never seen it before.
Oh, it is dried beef stock.
Yes, made fresh a week ago. It is supposed to stay good for months, yeah? But I take it home, and it spoils after 1 week.
Sounds like you have some kind of... in my country, we'd say yokai, looking over and cursing your food.
You think so, but I do not think it is just my food. This, and he points to the next jar, this is pemmican. The natives of this land make it. And it is berry and fat that they dry, and it stays good for sometimes years, 2 weeks. And I bury this outside my land. I bury it at the crossroads. Maybe a bit superstitious, but it go bad.
Evil spirit sounds most troubling.
And this, a woman showed me how to make it, is potted meat. You take butter and meat, and you mix it up. You put it in a ceramic pot, and it stayed good for weeks. It perished after 3 days. You know this. You all know this. We all knew it since the night at the cabin. There is evil in this land.
Haru begins looking around your house very suspiciously now. He's very almost uncomfortable. He's appreciative of you showing hospitality, but he's also feeling that there may be evil spirits looking out, looking around. He's if he sees a fox, he may shoot it.
I look at the jars trying to find if there's some kind of flaw in the jar.
Me a repair roll.
Man of science, man of mysticism.
Something comes back to you, and I missed it when you were talking to Skell. He mentions the spirit of Lao of Giwas was the evil spirit that had come to dwell there was influencing and corrupting the forest.
Okay.
I got 9.
9? Nothing wrong with the construction in his jars.
The jars are well made. I don't see how any taint's getting in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have been lying to you, to all of you. I said I was here for work, that I came to start a new life, and it's a half truth. I feel I can trust you. If I can trust anyone, I can trust you. So I ask, do you believe in miracles?
I have witnessed many things in my long life. Miracles, as you say, are one of them.
When I was at my lowest point, I was injured. I had been betrayed. I had nothing. My arms were broken. I received a vision from the mother. Her name, the Lady of Guadalupe, the Holy Mother. And the next morning, I woke up and my arms were not broken. They were strong again. And she showed me, it was a warning. It was a warning about this land. And the sky, it was black. And the earth, it was flat. Totally flat. Nothing but white sand. And she showed me her children. She said, "These are my children." And it was people, you know. But they were hungry. They were starving. And they ate each other. One brother turned to another, and he ate him. And she said, "Macario, you will go north, and you will bring color to this land, because if not, it will be nothing but black and white, and brother will eat brother." That is what she told me, and then I woke up. And so that is why I'm here, because this is my mission, and that is why I came, and I think she sent me to meet you, to find you. And so that is why I called you tonight, so that someone knows. If I die, if I'm eaten, someone knows.
As you finish telling that tale, you hear a distant lonely wolf howl somewhere out in that forest.
Now, is this lady from Guadalupe? Is Guadalupe in Atlantis, or?
We're going to break the tension.
And the tension is instantly broken.
I was trying not to laugh ahead of time.
Yeah, Macario explains, like, who the Lady of Guadalupe is, that she's basically the Spanish call her the Virgin Mary, but she belongs to Mexico. She's Mexican. She's the Mexican symbol of the Virgin Mary.
Okay. Because the Lemurians can do stuff like this. And she doesn't sound like a Lemurian because they don't eat their own children.
Listen,
I figure Atlantis, but
Daisy, I would love to hear more about Lemurians, but maybe tomorrow. Tell me tomorrow. After lunch. That would be perfect time.
okay, I'll give you more time to figure out what's going on here.
Rachel's been kind of like leaning back in her chair, just listening to everything you said. You know, she didn't like respond when you asked, like, do you believe in miracles? But you can just tell that she's like really focused on what you're saying. And then when you're done, and after like some Orient's comment, she's gonna kind of like lean forward and say, "This may or may not be connected, but earlier this afternoon I met with an Indian shaman up on Table Rock, and he told me of an evil spirit that's in this area. He said that shaman around here, these parts, performed rituals to keep these spirits at bay, and he's the only one left. And he gave me this, what do you call it? An amulet? Not an amulet. An amulet. He says that if we were to go take care of this spirit, that he would help me with my injury, but also maybe it would help you with this rotten food. Stop that vision from coming to pass.
The natives, they were killed here, yeah?
Yeah.
I think that these sins, they are piling up if there is not, it is atonement, as they say, the cleaning of the sins. This land, I think, needs to be cleaned. So this is something we should do, yes.
I must say that I am torn. I have my duty to find what is happening with Sheng Jin and this attempted murder, but I am also deeply loyal to helping you and with your problems. If I help you with this spirit, this evil in this land, please help me with my problem. I, first moment I can, will go to Chen Mei and inform her of my intentions, to let her know that I will be helping you so that you will help us, if that is appropriate.
Thank you, Haru. He kind of laughs for a moment. It seems we all have problems.
Got 99 problems and a spirit is one.
Mine is. She did not give me specifics. It was a vision. Such things are never too clear. So, I think it can wait, or maybe we will do it anyway. It's destiny, as I see it. It's fate. But I will help you. I promise you this. If I have strength in my bones, my arms, I will help you, Haru.
Thank you for your assistance, Macario. You are a true treasure in this very strange land.
Did I get a sense from Skrull earlier that this was like an urgent thing that needed to take care of, like, ASAP?
I mean, if you want to get the wound healed, then yeah.
Very much so, then. Although it's been a couple months.
Yeah. So,
Well, she's got a permanent injury.
yeah, it's the permanent
Yeah.
injury that would be nice. Rachel will also turn to you and say, I told you that I'd help you, and I stick to my word. This can wait a bit while we track down.
You and I are
This-
both people of honor, Deputy Kennedy. I appreciate your honesty and integrity.
So she's gonna say, like, so what's the information that we have to go on? Should we speak with what's your name?
And Chen Mei.
Chen Mei.
I mean, yes, we should go to Cheng Mei to speak with her. She may have more information that I was not privy to. My company is a company of secrets, if you will.
I've noticed that in my dealings with the Iron Dragon.
So we're gonna go track her now.
Yep. It's probably
And I'll
sometime
still pay
next morning.
you.
I'm American, I have no honor.
Probably reconvene the next morning at the Jacksonville Inn. You probably have another attack with your wound sometime between that time.
Like, I'm at home, cooking, like, moving the stove, like a pan, and like
Moving the stove.
spasm, and then like a spasm like the pan, It's like I spilled the beans all over the floor.
Mhm.
And Scout is like super happy about that.
Boy,
I don't care. I got another indication. I'm very dog-like.
Yeah.
Eat the food even though it's hot. Doesn't matter. Get it in your mouth. Birds. Oh no, doesn't matter. Eat it.
Yeah. So I imagine you find Chen Mei at another Mahjong game, or maybe it's the same Mahjong game. That's tough to get. Well, no, it doesn't last that long.
Depends on who's playing.
Yeah, how quickly they play.
Yeah. Right. And I'm gonna assume the same Bobby Fischer, So.
Yeah, you're probably having to teach most of these people how to play Mahjong.
They're like, what happened to these dominoes?
What is wrong with these dominoes?
You're just
So I'm in the tavern and I'm for the lack of something else to do, hustling mahjong, you know, betting people.
Sure, go ahead and give me a gambling roll. Are you cheating?
No.
No.
No, she's just feeding these backwaters fools because they're backwaters fools.
Because they're like, I play dominoes. I don't know how to play this.
Do you want to use the Deadlands gaming rules or just roll a quick roll?
I'll roll a quick roll.
Okay, alright.
Am I rolling a wild also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
3.
3. Alright, you're not losing any money, but you're not making any either.
That's fine.
So you're just like, oh, let's play a friendly game, and then you play the friendly game for no money, and they're just like, I'd rather play poker.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sitting there with a cup of jasmine tea that I brought from China with me on my last trip home, and tea that I carry out with me.
Those tins of tea can last years. You just
Right.
take little flakes off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely not winning, but also winning in the sense that I'm teaching people how to play. So I will
You're
have,
spreading
right.
knowledge of the game.
So I'll have opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who all is there? I was kind of assuming everyone is walking
I
into town.
would have been.
Yeah.
No, I actually wait. I live in the Jacksonville, and so I would have been coming down the stairs seeing her playing mahjong, and being like, "Oh, great."
So it's just the two of you again. You come downstairs and you see Chen Mei playing mahjong. Probably at the tail end of a game. You win it handily, but it was just play to teach.
So I'm slowly putting my tiles, arranging them, and putting them back into the wooden crate that I carry them in. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Is when it comes to her name, is it which one's the surname and which one's the given?
I believe it works the same way. The
Chen would be the surname and Mai is the...
yeah.
Good morning, Miss Chen. I see that you have just finished a game. I was curious on where we should begin with looking for Mr. Sheng Jin's attempted information regarding what happened with Mr. Sheng Jin, if you will.
So as you know, sir, I'm not familiar with this territory. I've worked back east with the Iron Dragon, but this is new territory for me. Do you know where this individual was last seen?
So the Portland rep is up in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
What you know, what has been shared with you by Sheng Jin, is that the steam wagon used by the would-be assassins was manufactured and owned by Iron Dragon. The leader of the outlaws, Lazarus Black, had a message written in Chinese. And he also had Iron Dragon script on him, on his person.
Okay.
A substantial amount of it, which is corporate money. The note or the message that he had was basically instructions and basically a schedule of the stagecoach's movements, where it would be, when it would be, and instructions to kill everyone on board, specifically Mr. Jin.
Does Lazarus Black have a known hideout in this area?
Nope, he's dead now, though.
Okay.
But the note was signed by another person whose name I haven't come up with, but an aide to the Portland guy.
So is the assumption that the aide to the Portland guy hired Lazarus Black and his crew for the assassination?
Yes.
Okay.
That is what all the evidence points towards, pretty
It is-
conclusively.
Is there reason to believe that the Portland guy or the aide would be this far south?
No, there is not reason to believe. But, they easily could have telegrammed a message or had sent. Actually, the aide was visiting Shanfan, which is where San Francisco would be
Mm-hmm.
a few months prior to all of this.
So traveling up and down the coast,
Mhm.
and would have passed through this area.
Sheng Jin has not ruled out that someone could be attempting to frame either the aide or the Portland representative.
That would also be reasonable. I'm going to. How well accepted in this area at this time are people of Asian descent?
Accepted.
Like if I started asking around for information on where I would find the outlaws, would people be receptive or would they be?
I think they'd be
hostile?
receptive. Iron Dragon's a big player throughout this area. They're the rail line, and it's been a good 20 or more years since their influence has been pretty heavily felt through the area.
They probably employ a lot of people in the area and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I
so
imagine
people
they
are
have
used to it.
a lot of Chinese working on the railroad and
Yeah. People are used to it. Most people are probably fairly ignorant about Chinese and Japanese culture and the other, Korean and Vietnamese and what have you.
We're all Asian to them. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that hasn't changed in the last 180 years. So.
Right.
Okay.
But no one's gonna, most people. There's probably that one bigot out of 100 people who's a jackass, but most folk aren't going to be like, oh, I'm not talking to you because you're Chinese.
Well, yeah, we killed him last game.
Yeah, exactly. Brutally.
So if my new acquaintance does not know where to locate the outlaws, then I will suggest that we seek information in the inn and in the surrounding community to see if anybody might know where we would find the remainder of Lazarus Black's crew.
That one guy that ran off.
Mm-hmm.
We could ask Jonathan Graves if he might know where he's at.
Is that a wise decision? I've heard that Mr. Graves is a little bit of a wild character.
Well, Mr. Graves may be a wild character, but if anything, he doesn't like competition, and if the rumors about him are even close to true, he'd be willing to help us at least locate another outlaw. I suggest we have Miss Daisy, if she is willing, when she comes into town, and check in with her, how you say, man.
So is this a large enough issue nationally that my uncle Chen Mei, who is the minister emissary from China to the U.S., would know of this matter, and if I telegraphed him in D.C., he would be able to find information.
It's important over here.
I think at this point, Iron Dragon is trying to keep it internal.
Okay, so then I agree, sir, that we should ask Miss Daisy and Mr. Graves if either of them can point us in the right direction.
And then I will also talk to Miss Kennedy, see if they have any men in their jail who are willing to make a bargain for information.
How big is the jail?
How big is the jail?
I mean, you've got probably 4 cells.
That's a
It's-
big jail.
It's not a prison. It's not for long term sort of
Right.
deals.
It's like
Yeah, a lot
typical Western movie
of
jail.
a lot of those,
Yeah.
those cells were used as drug tanks. More
Exactly.
Than
Yeah.
anything else.
Or
Yeah. Very
we
good.
can keep an eye out for outlaw camps on our way to Crater Lake. We have
I
another
explained that to a coworker.
matter to attend to as well out that direction. So we have many options. You are the troubleshooter. What do you recommend?
What does this matter out towards Kurtavik?
How much do you know of the strange events that happen in the woods around here?
I don't, and I am not familiar with this territory, sir.
It seems that food perish quickly, even when left to proper preservation methods, quicker than it should. We have seen many evil things that could only be explained through dark spirits or dark energy. And there may be one that is in control of it all out in Crater Lake. We have been asked by one of the American Indians to rid this land of its evil. We might be able to find some outlaws who know something as we head that direction. If that is an acceptable mode of finding information. I do not wish to step on your toes.
I feel that this will enhance my education of this region, and so I will travel with you.
Your agreement is most appreciated. I will go find the deputy and inform her of our intentions so that she can help me find the others.
Thank you, sir.
And so then I'll head towards the sheriff's office. I almost forgotten. Sheriff.
Everyone hangs out at the sheriff's office.
I'll sit down and finish the tea.
At least I know Ross likes me now, so
What is going on at the sheriff's office?
Do we have anyone locked up
You
currently?
got some drunks.
Jones again.
Yeah.
Jones. what was
Yeah,
that?
actually, Jones is. He went and got in a fight with someone anyway.
God damn it, Jones. Bessie's got enough on her mind without you getting into fights all the time.
Yeah, he looks like he got the worst of the fight too, but he was the provoker.
Does
So.
he have like a piece of meat over his eyes?
Yeah.
Just kept thinking of the maggots again.
Yeah, no, he's got maggots going in his eye.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's
as long,
like
as long as
comfort.
he only goes in for a day.
Right?
Yeah.
Is he?
I'm crying. No, I want to do that out in the sheriff's office. I'd keep that.
Okay. You could have done that the night before or whatever.
I don't know, what do deputies do when they're not out actively deputying? I'm not doing paperwork, that's for sure. That's Ross's job.
Are you telling Ross about?
Yeah, I'm
anything?
probably making a report to Ross about the
What?
shop and
Yeah.
what he said about
Alright.
the spirits.
Tell him that. Him walking in. Deputy. He's actually, remarkably, he's like cleaning his gun
Not
instead of doing paperwork.
Oh.
Oh, he's drinking.
Oh.
He's smoking. He's drinking.
Ah.
But he's got his gun disassembled and he's cleaning it.
Well, sure had an interesting day yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to an Indian shaman.
Oh. Okay.
Scout got spooked at Table Rocks. Found out that there's a spirit up at Crater Lake that we gotta kill. Macari's got
Did-
maggots over at his house eating the food out there.
Well, okay.
Graves helped me out.
The muscles are
That's a shocker.
Yeah.
Slow, Deputy, why don't you slow down and hold on just a moment. He
Spilled my beans all over.
all right, Deputy, all right.
Rambling now.
Hold on a second. Just sit down. Here's some whiskey. Stop talking for 2 seconds. He reassembles his gun, holsters it, walks over to the tank, or the jail cells, opens the first one, grabs the first drum. Out! Out! Jones, stop getting into fucking fights. Stop arguing with people. Next time I see your ugly face, I'm shooting you. Get the fuck out.
Whoa!
Poor guy.
Jones is like,
Yeah, he hauls them out and tosses them out. Deputy, you mind not going off about magic and spirits and who knows what else in front of the ignorant townspeople?
Yeah, again, they are.
They're anyone listening to them is just gonna pass it off on them day drinking.
And that is perfectly fine, but I will ask you to be mindful of who you talk about that stuff in front of.
You said make a report. I made my report.
Was not expecting you to talk about spirits. What is this spirit? Who is this shaman you spoke to?
You're gonna have to ask Graves that. His name is Skell. Skell's his name. His name's Skell.
I think Deputy Kennedy's been drinking before coming in.
Yeah.
He had a goddamn bad night, okay? Pretty dreams. It's not been a
Dream.
It's been a day, okay?
What kind of dream did you have?
I don't want to talk about that.
Well, okay,
It's
Deputy.
about my ex-husband.
You was married?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
That is fine.
He burst into my house and shot at me.
Okay, he burst. This is in the dream, though, right? We're talking about your ex-husband, or we're talking about Skell? I'm confused. Who showed up in the dream, and who did you see in real life?
Well, both. Except for Skell. He didn't show up in the dream.
Okay. All right. So you met with Skell in real life, and you saw your ex-husband in your dream.
Do you think dreams are prophetic, Ross? Do you think that they they predict the future, what's gonna happen?
I'm picturing that you're belching at this point. You've obviously had some drinks.
She's obviously had something.
Are you?
No.
No.
Maybe a little. I had one drink, okay, Ross? You sit in your office all day long just pouring back the whiskey.
What drink did this to her?
Rachel's a notorious lightweight, I would say.
That one drink was a whole bottle of something. I'm sure. Something strong.
Yeah. One drink.
Yeah.
Her apple juice got a little fermented.
And sometimes, Deputy, those who are sensitive to certain forces may be visited by dreams of portents and visions.
Oh god. And all the colors going to drink from my face and just gonna sit down. I need a drink.
Okay. There you go. So, let's have ourselves a little chit chat here.
And she's gonna break it down, probably the whole report. Do you really want me to go through all of that again? Oh god.
You want to talk about the dream, or you want to talk about the Skell? Which one first?
Still.
Okay. Alright. So you go and meet this Skell. Why did you meet Skell? Have you heard about him from Graves?
Yeah.
Okay, that was your first mistake.
I know.
What did this Mr. Skell
But it's
have to
either
say?
Grays or the Lumerians.
Well, okay. That is fair.
Thank you.
But what did this shaman have to say?
Says he's the last shaman in the area keeping this evil spirit at bay. He says if he doesn't have the strength left to perform this ritual, and that if we don't take care of the spirit up at Crater Lake, bad stuff's coming for the valley.
Huh.
You need this ambulance.
His eyes narrow as he looks at it. You know, I have a friend once, in this sort of circumstance, he'd tell me that we need to go on a vision quest to figure this out.
We're gonna go on a vision quest, Ross?
No, we are most
Oh, thank
certainly
God.
not going on a vision quest.
Thank God.
Spirit, deputy. I know you got some mojo about you. You think you got enough to take on a goddamn spirit?
I won't be going alone.
Well, that's comforting. Who's coming with you?
Scout.
Okay.
And Haru.
Okay.
And Macario.
Getting better.
And Railin Daisy, of course.
All right. Okay. And you're not taking Graves with you, are you?
Maybe.
Oh God!
I know.
That's my point.
Now I'm worried.
You might have to just honestly, God, just deputize Graves.
Yeah,
It's the
at
end of the
this
world.
point.
Make him immune to the law entirely. What a great idea.
I want to see if Haru wants to. If Haru's got business with the Iron Dragon, though, and I told him I'd help him with that, so that's what we're gonna do.
Works for Iron Dragon. His business is Iron Dragon.
Yeah, and he's on a special assignment from his bosses over there, and I told him I'd help him out.
My
So.
boss is boss.
Fuck, you get involved in Iron Dragon business?
No, I'm helping out a friend.
Well, that friend's business is Iron Dragon business. You be careful, deputy. Them rail barons ain't to be fucked with.
Yeah.
Get caught up in rail line business, you might bite off more than you can chew. Believe you me. When are you heading out on this errand?
When Haru says the word. I'm expecting him any moment, in fact.
Is this for Lake or the Iron Dragon business?
Iron Dragon.
Well,
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Well, I don't think she knows yet that you
Yeah.
decided. So.
let me see what I can look up. That might be helpful for you. I'd go with you. I really would. But someone's gonna stay and keep the town safe.
I don't know, Ross. I can take care of myself.
And deputy, keep this stuff on the down low. Don't be talking to just anyone about it. Your friends, they're all weird. They're knowledgeable about some of the more unnatural aspects of our world. But folks, town folks like Jones, like Graves, they don't know. And knowing it's only going to make them scared. If they get scared, things get worse. Like I was telling Macario, we keep them ignorant of the scary things that are out there, and we put the scary things down.
Yep. It sounds like the scary things out here. We're like,
You let me know before you go. I'll see what I can look up. If you go out there and you put some scary shit down.
will do.
I think actually that might be a good place to call it, unless y'all are good to keep going.
No, I feel like we've hit a good spot.
Alright. Alrighty, well, thank you listeners for tuning in. Hope you had fun, and hope you'll join us again next week as we conclude this particular adventure. We're, doing episode 6 of Valley of Famine. My name's Ben. I've been here with
Rosemary, Austin, Nick S., Ed, and our special guest, Trisha.
Yay.
And, yeah. Everyone have a good night, or whatever time of day it is that you are listening to this, and we hope you'll tune in next time.